إمام مسلم في الصحيحين عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه ومن قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه ومن قام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. The hadith today is one of the most famous hadith in preparation or about Ramadan. It is narrated by both Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and it is a 3-sentence hadith, and you will find actually these sentences alone as well in other riwayat. But these 3 sentences convey they have the same structure, and they convey the same essential meaning, and the repetition is intentional in how the hadith is. The translation of it is as follows. The Prophet ﷺ said that the person who fasts Ramadan with iman, out of conviction and gladly, I'm going to translate ihtisab as someone who's doing this gladly, and explain a little more about why I translated as such. The person who fasts Ramadan out of iman and they're doing it gladly, Allah will forgive their sins that were in the past. And the person who fasts, the one who stands up in Ramadan to pray, and this is the reference to the Taraweeh and Qiyamul Layl prayers, with the same 2 conditions, out of conviction and iman, and happily, gladly doing so, then their previous sins are forgiven. And the person who stands on the night of power, Laylatul Qadr, with the same 2 conditions, out of conviction and happily, gladly doing so, their previous sins are forgiven. These are 3 things that Rasulullah is telling us, and I'll just share 2 observations with you here. The first observation is that this is actually a way of Rasulullah telling us what the Ramadan of the believer will look like, and in a way it's a prophecy of how Ramadan will be across the world, across time. You look at Ramadan, like zoom out, go anywhere in the world and zoom in, you will see these 3 things. People are fasting, people are praying at night, and people are praying even more at night in the last 10 nights. Across the world, wherever there is a Muslim community, you will find this there. It doesn't matter how large, how small, whether they're majority or minority, it doesn't matter. These 3 things you will find it. Subhanallah. And how amazing it is that the Prophet ﷺ is highlighting that in this hadith. The second thing you will notice is that the Prophet put 2 qualifiers: imanan wa ihtisaban. Imanan wa ihtisaban. Iman is iman, faith. The person is doing so because they're convinced this is the right thing to do. This is a command of Allah, and they're doing so to please Allah. And that is the first prerequisite of any good deed to be accepted. The second one is ihtisab. Ihtisab has many different connotations, but one of the scholars of hadith, they explain it as someone who is doing so in a way where they're not wala mustathqilan li siyamihi wala mustatilan li ayamihi. They're describing it as that a person does not think that the fasting is really hard, it's a burden, or they don't see that the days are just long. When is it going to be Eid? Oh, it's just only the 3rd of Ramadan. That attitude is not there. The attitude is the opposite. They are happy, they're glad, they're pumped up. It's Ramadan. Yes, it's the best time of the year. There's this amazing energy that only we can experience in Ramadan. If that is there, along with of course the iman, then the conditions or the prerequisites for tawbah, for forgiveness, for salvation are met. And Rasulullah is telling us this is how we should approach Ramadan. And I pray that this is how we approach it, and we are consistent in this throughout Ramadan, so that our sins are forgiven. Here we Imam Muslim, Imam Bukhari wal Imam Muslim في الصحيحين عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه ومن قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه ومن قام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. جزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله